Hello my friends, this is Sheree. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. Happy Thanksgiving. I know it's already passed, but I hope you had a good one. And so today I am doing another little craft that kind of came to me and I've been wanting to do, and I hadn't said anything about it. I just said it was on my mind or subconscious. And so I started working on the request journal that someone wants. This is going to be the next little golden book I'm working on. If you didn't see the video, the flip through of the Santa binder journal was yesterday. So if you didn't see that, go see that, because that was such a fun journal to make, and I think it's a fun flip through. I think you'll enjoy seeing all the pages and the goodies and everything. But yeah, this is going to be the next one, so I can't wait to do this one. I love the Grinch, and that's why when I saw this book, I had to get it. I mean, I had never seen it before, and I was like, oh my goodness, a little golden book Grinch, so, because I love little golden books. But the other little project I had on my mind for quite a while now that I hadn't mentioned that I really, really, really wanted to do was this one here. And this is a little journal made from a brown paper bag. Yeah, I know, you can't see the brown paper bag, can you? But that's what it is. So I thought I would show you just the cover. I haven't finished it yet. I'm going to add pages and some maybe light decorating, some goodies, and then it'll be listed in my shop. As always, if you're interested in a journal that I'm working on, let me know and I'll reserve it. Put it aside. I mean, not put it aside, but when it gets listed, I'll reserve it for you. So yeah, I'm going to add probably some eyelets and some ribbons for closure, pages, goodies, and I'm going to, this is not going to be complicated, but I wanted to show you this cover because this is what I had in my head. And, I wasn't sure because I've done paper bag journals of all different sizes and types and things like this, but I've never done one like this. So let me show you exactly how I did this. Let me show you, first of all, there's a pocket right here. This is scrapbook paper. This is scrapbook paper, fabric in the middle. Scrapbook paper, fabric, scrapbook paper, and this is a little felt Santa that I got from Dollar Tree. Maybe you saw them there. If you've been to Dollar Tree and you looked at all their Christmas stuff, I'm sure you did. But it's called a felt garland. So, as soon as I saw it, I knew I was going to want to use these in my junk journals. And also, you could use these for ornaments on your Christmas tree. You don't have to keep them together. You could separate them, and there's even a little ribbon that you could cut in between the Santas and tie a little knot and just hang it on your Christmas tree. The reason I thought of that is because my granddaughter is 4 now. She just turned 4, but she's a little destroyer. She's gotten really good in the last year about being gentle with things and not breaking everything she touches. But still, she wants to play with all my Christmas ornaments. So all the breakable ones are on the bottom of my Christmas tree, on the bottom half. And she will take them off and look at them, and then she'll put them back, or she'll carry them around. You know what I mean? And I'm Mimi, so I don't say no. I just say, be gentle, be gentle. So anyway, this just turned out so cute. So I wanted to show you how I did it, because I think it's a little different from, possibly a little different from any paper bag journal that you've seen. So this is what I had in my head, and I made it come to pass here. And let me just tell you, right now, you'll see why I'm telling you this in a second, but it's kind of like, I don't know if you can actually see it on video, but it feels, can you hear that? First of all, you can hear a little crinkle, and second of all, it kind of reminds me of a puffy sticker. If you know puffy stickers, they're not real puffy, are they? But they're a little puffy. They're a little cushiony. And that's what this is, a little cushiony, little cushiony. So let me show you what I did. It is sewn around the edges too. I don't know if you saw that. It's sewn around the edges here and here. You can see it on the inside too. Just a straight stitch around. I didn't want to do a zigzag stitch and have it like invade the cover too much. So here's what I started with, just a regular lunch sack brown paper bag. And I like working with paper bags. I love paper bags. That's one of my kind of obsessions, that I have a drawer full of all kinds of paper bags. And these, though, I had them in my pantry, and I never took them out of my pantry and put them in my craft room because I figured, well, I didn't have room in here for one thing. And then, you know, I wouldn't lose them because all my paper bags are in a drawer, but I really don't have room in there. I guess I could squish them in there, but I just left them in the pantry because I know where they are. When I want them, I'll go in there and get one. Right, so that's what I did today. I went in there and got, I was surprised at how many I had. I don't know. The only thing I can think of is, like, I don't remember buying any brown paper bags in the last many years. But I'm wondering if they're left from when my kids were in high school, like, or in school. My youngest son graduated, and I hate to say it because, you know, it makes me sound a little old, but my youngest son graduated in 2013. Yeah. Have they been in my pantry all this time? Like, I've completely reorganized my pantry in the last, like 2 years, I think it is. But, of course, I took them out and put them back in there. It's not like I wasn't going to take them out. Okay, so this is what I did first. I took my paper bag. I want this to be a pocket, this little bottom part. So I just made sure, you know, have it like that. And then what I did next was I want to cut a piece of, this is brown Amazon packaging. So I'm going to cut a piece of this to fit in here. So I took it and kind of measured like this, just using my paper bag as my template, and got it to where I thought it would fit inside. So, like, I want it to fit also in my paper cutter. Okay, it does fit through my paper cutter. So let's get our length now. So I'm just going to cut or fold. I think I'll cut right here a little notch. Let me keep that straight. I'm going to cut a little notch. Okay, so there's my notch. That's where I'm going to be cutting. I'm going to be cutting that off. And I'll go ahead and cut another little notch here. Because this has to fit inside the paper bag. So I'm going to cut another little notch right here. And if I have to cut off more, I can. But those two notches, okay, I've got those ready. But before I did that, what I did was go ahead and glue, you know, these have a gusset. These lunch sacks or lunch bags, lunch paper bags, have a gusset. So I just, let's see, I just put some glue. There's a little kind of a divot right here. I put some glue in there because I want all this to be glued down. So I put some glue in there. This is art glitter glue that I'm using, but you can use any glue that will glue paper together. Any glue that you have that will glue paper together. And so, yeah, I just got enough in there, especially on the edges, but all up and down. One side of the gusset. You don't need it on both sides because you're going to glue it together like this. Okay, so then I press that down and press that all together. And the other side too. Make sure. Let's see, this is all going to be glued together. Okay, and then this side, same thing. Right up in that little part of the bottom. It's kind of a little triangle right there, and then that kind of gets glued together, and then you go in your gusset part here, get it glue all up in there, and I don't think you have to have a ton of glue in here, but enough to glue it together, and probably especially on the edges here. You want that all nice and, even though I'm going to sew it, this is what I did. I'm just showing you what I just did, because it came out so nice, so why not, right? If you wanted to use glue stick in there, you probably could if you're going to sew it. But if you're not going to sew it, you would do this too, because, you know, like art glitter glue, you know it's going to hold it together, right? So see, you still got your little opening out here that's going to be a pocket. and your paper bag still opens here. It is harder to get your hand in there at this point, but you can get your hand all the way down into the bottom. You just got to make sure you're on the right side of the gusset to get your hand all the way down to the bottom. Let's see, I'm going to try to tell you which side of the gusset I'm on. I'm on the top side of the gusset here. So like here's the little bottom part. Turn it around and then push the gussets down. You don't need to worry about gluing it in here. But if you reach your hand down on top of the little gusset part, you can reach your hand all the way down to the bottom of the paper bag. Okay, that'll be important in a minute. So now you've got your gussets glued. Now we're going to do this part and cut this where we made our little notched, cut notches. So let's see, I don't need my glue for a minute, so let me put my pin in here. You know how fast art glitter glue dries. We don't want it to dry out. Okay, so let's cut this end part off where I made a little cut right here. See, can you see that okay? Yeah. And then my other little cut notches right here. So let's put that in here. I'm just doing it in my paper cutter so I can get a nice straight cut. If I try to cut it with my scissors, it's going to be going off at an angle, so I need it to be straight so it'll fit inside that paper bag. Okay, so there we go. That looks about right. Like I said, if it's too big, I can always cut off a little more. I really want it to go edge to edge, and that's what the other one did. Went from edge to edge when I put it in there. So let's see how we did. Okay, the length is right. Let's see if it's going to fit this way. Let's try it on the outside first. It looks like, I mean, it's going to be tight, but let's see if it fits in there. So again, I want to put it in on top of the gussets. Here's the bottom that I have. It's going to be a little pocket, so turn it over and see if it fits in here. Or do you need to adjust? Is it too big? It looks like I'm going to fit. See, it just slides right down in there. If it doesn't slide down in there, that means you have it on the wrong side of the gusset. So just take it out and put it on the other side of the gusset. Okay, so now I'm going to reach my hand down in there, make sure it's down to the bottom. I mean, if it's a little bit above, it doesn't matter, but I wanted it to be right down to the tippy top bottom part here, and I can feel it there too on the outside. You can just feel that it's like hard there instead of just paper bag. And the other one was sticking out a little bit here too. See how this one's sticking out a little bit? Here's the paper bag, and here's the piece I put in there. The other one was like that too, and I didn't mind it because it's reinforcing the bottom or the edge here of the paper bag. So it's going to be like this. Just remember, I wanted the pocket in the back. So if you want your pocket in the front, you could do it like this, but I'm doing it like this. Okay, so next what I did, I left it in there like that. I didn't try to glue it in or anything, but I did fold it in half so I could see what my front, size was and what my back size was. So like this, I just folded it in half. Now I did pick out a thinner piece of, like I looked at all my Amazon packaging and I picked out like a thinner one. Like the white ones are a little fatter because they have the actual bubbles in there. And these brown papers, sometimes it feels like they're thick. Some are thicker than others. It feels like this was a pretty thin one. But it does have the little, whatever it has inside, the little pads or whatever, that makes it into a cushioned envelope. Okay, so there we go. That's our front. This is our inside pocket, back. So it's starting to form into a cover. And so for this one, I did the Santa for the other one. So at Dollar Tree, I also picked out, I got the Snowman package of felt garland. So this one's going to be a snowman. And so for this guy, I picked out for the front, I didn't pick out the insides yet. We're going to do that together. But as soon as I saw his blue scarf, I said, oh, he's got to have blue behind him. And I have this blue scrap of paper. So we're going to put this on the outside. So what I did, it turned out pretty cool the way it worked out. So what I did was cover my very front first. And I used, I don't think you have to use you don't have to use a Fabri-Tac, but I did just because that's what I do. Or that's what I did. So what I ended up doing, because the first one was kind of an experiment. It's the first one I just showed you. I kind of, like I said, I'd never made one exactly like that before. So it was kind of, figuring it out along the way. So what I did was just take my Fabri-Tac, put it all over the cover here. All along knowing that I'm going to sew around this. But this, we'll see, as we go along, we'll see what we think about if you're not going to sew on it, right? I'll mention anything I think of about if you're not going to sew. Because I think the way I did it is good for not sewing too. Okay, so that's plenty of glue there. I especially got it on the edges and right here on this edge. Okay, so then what I did was, make sure the direction you want. Do I want it, if it's directional, which way do you want it? I want it this way. So what I did, this is a little like 6x6 square of scrap of paper. You can see it's one-sided. This is I showed you this on my Thrifty Thursday. It's from Temu, a little pack of paper from Temu. And so it was just like, I was like, this is perfect for a little journal like this. I don't have to get out a big 12 by 12 paper, and it folds easily. It's not cardstock. So anyway, I left my fold like that, a little bit exposed. And you can see I kind of centered this. I have a little bit on top and a little bit on the bottom and a little bit here over the edge on this side, the opening side. Okay, so let's press that down into the glue. Get that all nice and glued down. All right, then all I did was turn this over, and then I folded in the top and bottom and the side. Okay, I thought of this because I thought it would be nice to have the edge finished. So that's why I thought of not just cutting it off here. You could do that if you want this to be a pocket, but I didn't care about that being a pocket. I didn't want it to be a pocket. So I wanted a finished edge like this, so that's why I did it like this. And then I decided it would be best if I glue this little front edge on first. So again, some Fabri-Tac and get it down on the edge and fold it over, glue it down. This is super easy, so you could really, if you make these pretty simple, you could make a bunch of these for your friends real quick, or your coworkers, or for whatever you need a little journal for. But one important thing is to get plenty of glue right here on this corner. You've got double, kind of get some under there, glue that, get that glued down, and get some on top, and then fold that over. And one thing I noticed was if you have, like, both of them didn't do this, but one of them did. See how you have a little edge right there? Of course, I don't like that, so I cut that off. I just cut that off like that, so you don't see that little edge sticking out. See, like it did that on the other one, but it did it down here and not up here. So this one, it did it up here. And you can kind of, miter your edges and stuff like that. I was just going to see, what if I don't miter my edges? What if I just fold it down? And it was fine, because I'm going to be putting a piece of paper over here anyway and sewing around it. So I figured it was okay if I didn't miter it. So then, okay, so this is doing it again, leaving me a little piece there. Let's go ahead and cut it off now. All right. Even though I'm going to put paper over that, I don't like it. So, so far so good. I think the way that I did it, you really don't have to do any sewing on it, but I just wanted to. I had that in my brain from the very start that I would sew around it, so I had just for the looks of it and just for, you know, I just like to sew on around the edges of a journal if I can, especially a single, you know, signature little journal or any kind of single signature journal. I just like to sew around the edges. So let's see, a little bit of, this is probably okay, but I'll go ahead and put a little glue right there. It needs, I can see it sticking up a little bit. Okay. So this is going to be completely covered up there, so still sticking up. Let me hold it down for a second. Okay, so now we're going to get our, that's our front cover. Now let's get our back cover, and if you noticed on the other one, I didn't have two pieces of this stripe, so I used a different one on the back. This is kind of like a red plaid. It goes with it. I have red fabric separating it anyway, but it goes with it. You know what I mean? Even though it's not the same. So I just, you know, made sure, for me, for my sake, for my own personal, what I like that it coordinated at least. So this back piece is different because we're not going to fold it over. We can't fold it over, or else we would seal up our little pocket, right? So for the back cover, I just took it and put it down on here. I glued it down on here like that. So let me show you what I'm talking about and how we're going to finish this off. So just some more glue. More glue. And right up to that fold, but you know, not on the fold. We're going to put fabric there in a little bit. Okay, so plenty of glue on there, especially on the edges. So what I did here on the back was take my little 6x6 piece of paper, scrapbook paper. I put it beside my fold and I put it right to the top here and glued it down. See now, so this back part is going over a little bit here and here. Okay, so let's get that all nice and glued down. And then what I did was cut off the bottom. So I'm cutting off this bottom piece here. Completely off. Don't cut your paper bag open. Don't cut your paper bag. If you do, you can sew it back together or glue it back together. But okay, so then for my finished edge on the back, I can still have a finished edge here by folding this over. Okay, because we're going to put a piece of paper here and a separate piece of paper here. Okay, so go ahead and glue this down. Isn't this fun? I hope you're doing it with me. I hope you're like, oh, let me go grab my paper bag. If you don't, you can replay. You can watch this one and then replay it and do it with me. Because it's a lot of fun. If you want to do this, do it, because it's a lot of fun. Okay, especially when you get the finished result. I mean, so much fun just making the cover. Then you're gonna, you know, put pages in it. It's even gonna be more fun. Okay, so you've got your finished edge. See, on both the front and the back. So, like I said, I hadn't picked out a piece of paper to go on the inside. We can do that together now, and keeping in mind that we have blue here. And we have a snowman. So let's see what we have amongst this paper that I have here. I kind of spread it all out so I could see. And I have a lot of green and red, but do I have, I mean, I don't have to have blue, but here is a blue, if I want to use that. I kind of was trying to use the more patterned paper on the inside because I figured the ones with, see how this is kind of, let me show you on this one. See how this is kind of a, it's a pattern, but it's kind of a generic pattern. You know what I mean? Like that you don't mind covering up, but this has little stockings and Santas on it. And I just love it here. I was like, oh, I should put a pocket here. I was like, oh, that's so cute. I can't cover that up. I still might put a little tuck spot or something there, but still, that's why I was kind of looking for, this is kind of an overall generic pattern. And so now I'm kind of, if I can find something that and it doesn't have to have blue. I mean, the snowman's got a green snowflake on him, and he's got red cheeks and a black hat with a red band, so it can be green and red on the inside. So why don't I stick with my original plan and try to find something that's more patterned for the inside. So let's just go through here quickly and not take too much time on this. Snowman. I don't know if there's anything with snowmen on it in here either. This is a cute one. I've got two of, oh, this one would be cute. This has got ornaments on it, and it's got some blue and yellow ornaments. This might be the one, and I've got two of these. I don't have two of all of these, but I have a few of these. So I put all the ones that I had doubles on. What am I trying to say? I put all the doubles together. Okay, so I think that might be the one. Yeah, I think that might be the one. I think that is the one. Okay. That is going to be cute with that, with those blue ornaments. Okay, I forgot about that one. Okay, so next, what I did was, I think I did the front next. So I wanted a little border showing around. If you don't want a border, just put it right up to your edge, or if you don't want to have to deal with trying to make a border, just put it right up to the edge. I did want a little border around, so I took it like this, and you can see the little blue border here, and then I took it and folded it up here to where, you can see a little bit of the blue. Okay, so then I cut that off. Let's cut that off. All right. And then, okay, so let's see how it fits. Oh, I'm going to need a little bit more. I didn't quite cut enough off there. A little sliver off there. Another sliver. Okay. Let's see if that fits. Is that better? Yes, it is. Okay, now here's our fold right here. So then I just took it and made another little pinch and then cut that off. I don't have my fabric picked out either, so it might be, I can use that same red fabric, but I'll see what else I have over there. So let me make sure. I don't want this in my fold because that'll bulk it up and get in the way. So it looks good. Let's go ahead and glue this one down. That can be drying while we work on the other one, and then when we sew, by the time I sew, the glue will be dry enough so it won't goop up in my sewing machine. So, yeah. So there's different things you can do along the way to make this a little differently, so you can make it whatever your way. You can put your own spin on it if you want the paper bag open, stuff like that. Okay, I'm not going too far over on this scrapbook paper because it's going to have that border, so I don't want glue on where my border is. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it right. So then we put this down, letting our little border show. All right, that's really pretty. I like that a lot. I'm glad I had that one with the blue ornaments. It looks perfect with this blue kind of snowflake paper. And I'm glad I had two of them. So then I took it like this. Again, letting, well, this one, yeah, let a little border come through here. But I put it right up to the top and right to the bottom here because we got our paper bag. If you want your paper bag to show, you could do that. You could have a little border of paper bag on this back part and bring it down a little bit, but I didn't want that. So I put it right up to the top, say, here. Let a little border show on the edge here, and then again a little pinch right here at the bottom because I want it to go right to the bottom, so I'll cut that off. And then let's see if I can get this one right. Let's see how I did. Yep, that looks good. Yep, Yep, that's right. Yep. Okay, I think I did it. Okay. So then I'm going to measure this little bottom part where my pocket is because I want a separate piece on there. So again, I put that right to the edge, and there I actually left a little bit of paper bag showing. So I'll do that again because I like that. I like how that turned out. Okay, so right there's my pinch. All right, we can glue that down in a second. So, yeah, about like that. All right, and then this piece, I think this whole piece fits under here. Let me see if I'm right. Yeah, see, here's my fold. So it can go out to the fold, but not over the fold. And then I would glue it down all the way down to here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and glue these two pieces. Let's glue this one first. I glued this one first last time, but let's glue this one first this time because of it going under here. It worked out last time, like it wasn't a problem or anything. I just think if you're worried about messing this up at all, you might want to glue this one first. So what would be best? I didn't do it like this time. Last time I put glue here, and then I had to pick this up and put glue under here. But since now I know what I did last time, I would say put glue on here because you don't want glue, too much glue under here, gluing your pocket together. Okay, yeah, no, you don't want to glue your pocket together. All this planning on that pocket, that one little pocket, and you don't want to glue it together. Okay, all right, glue on the edges. Now, yeah, just make sure you don't get glue outside of this because you will glue your pocket together. You don't want that. Okay, I'm going to carefully, you can push this back, it won't hurt it. And make sure you know where your fold is, and just put it beside your fold there, and get your top to bottom oriented where you want it, and then just glue it down. I don't feel any glue protruding out there. Okay, so that is nicely glued down with no glue there, so it won't glue my pocket together. And then your pocket's a little bit lined too there, so you have that pretty paper. In case you can't really see down in there, but in case you do see down in there, somehow you'll see that it's nice and lined. And now we'll glue this one onto the little pocket, which is the bottom of your bag. Yeah, we're pretty much covering up the bag, but just the idea of it's showing a little bit, and you know that it's a paper bag, and you know you finally used one of your brown paper bags for something. And if you were to give it to someone, you said that started out as a brown paper bag, they're going to be pretty amazed. Like, what? This doesn't look like a brown paper bag. Oh my goodness, how did you do that? You know what I mean? So there we go. See, I have a little piece of brown paper bag showing right there. So you can see it was a brown paper bag. A little bit showing up here too. It really was a brown paper bag at one point. For a long time, if it really was in my pantry that long. Okay, so we're at the point now I need my fabric. So I need to go and look at my fabric because I have it right here, but like I said, I didn't pick out any yet. So I'm going to go look, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I decided to use that red one again. I have just a little piece of this left, like one strip, and this is half of it right here. So I thought, why don't I just go ahead and use this up? So what I did was, let's see, what did I do? Started here. Is that what I did? No, I started like this, something like this. Well, let's just go ahead and measure here and do a little cut here. Okay. So I got my piece. I'm going to wrap it around. Let me just pull a couple strings off here, make sure I don't have any loose strings. This is kind of like cotton broadcloth. So yeah, it's just, I don't know where it came from, but I have that little piece in my stash here. So what I want to do is I want it to be like this. This is what I was trying to explain earlier, or before when I confused the fabric a little bit. But I want to start like this. So I'm going to leave that there to remind myself, and go ahead and put some glue down here. So this is our outside spine, and we've got it in the right direction. Not that this is directional, but just for my own sake of, and for your sake of how I'm gluing this on, I do have a method to my madness here. So a little bit of glue here, and then what I'm doing is leaving a little piece to wrap around to the inside on the bottom, so like an inch on the bottom. So just put it down on your spine. Try to get it right in the middle. Try to get your spine right in the middle, because that matters when you turn it around. You want it to be in the middle on the inside too. Okay, and you have a minute to move it if you needed to, or not even really a minute, a few seconds. Okay, there we go. All right, so that looks good. I'll be able to do that on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that's glued down. Let's see how it is here. Yeah, good. I think I'll put a little bit, just a tiny bit more right here. Okay, just a tiny bit more there. Okay, and see, then I can go around here and put, I want to wrap this up first. I'll put a little bit of glue here. I can see where it's going because my fabric is there. I can see where the outer edges are. So go ahead and bring that piece up. That gives you a nice finished edge around here. And then finish your glue up to the top. You can see your edges, where your edges are. And then all in the middle here. Okay, and then on here, on top of this piece here that you folded up, okay, and then you fold this down, and it goes right to, almost to the bottom, almost to the bottom. I meant for it to go to the bottom. I don't know why I did that. Okay, but no big deal. I have to let that, well, I can wipe that off a little bit. Okay, but anyway, it looks nice and finished because you have that overlapping there, and you have it overlapping here and here. So that's all nice and finished, just like you did here. You finished that, you finished this. Okay, so at this point, what I need to do is go and sew. I sewed it before I put my little Santa Claus on, because I didn't want to stitch over the Santa Claus. See how it goes up over the stitching a little bit here and here? Okay, so I'm going to go stitch on my sewing machine, and I'll just doing a straight stitch all the way around the outside, and I'll be right back. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the stitching when I get back, because well, I'll tell you when I get back, so stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, my friends, I have the cushy cover here. So yeah, what I wanted to tell you about the sewing was, because I left a border here and not here, the level of sewing is slightly different. Now, if you don't care about that, you can go all the way around with one, fail swoop. But if you don't, if you do care about that, what I did was I sewed from the inside because I wanted to see where my border was, and I wanted to sew just inside of this inside piece of scrapbook paper. So I sewed around this edge first, up, from not over the fabric, just here, here, here. And then I did a separate sewing, and I started up here a little bit further because this scrapbook paper goes up more, further, and I started here and went around like that. Just, it's just details that, if you don't, I mean, if I didn't do it that way, if I just sewed all the way around, somebody might not even notice, but I noticed, so I had to do it that way. So I'm just letting you know, if you want to do it really, I don't know, I just think it makes it look really finished. I don't know, I just like it like that. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So now we're ready to put on the snowman. Put the little finishing touch on here. It's not finished, but, finished for the cover. And we'll see how this looks. I haven't used any of these yet. I just got them really. I wasn't going to get any because I think I had seen them earlier. And I was like, I don't need those. And then I realized I was actually thinking of getting some felt ornaments for my Christmas tree after I realized how much my granddaughter was taking them off the Christmas tree. Because I thought, you know, I thought she would, but she really took them, like almost everyone off the Christmas tree practically. That's on the bottom to play with them. So I was like, well, I could really use some felt ornaments, and then, you know, so these could be, that's why I got these, because they could be felt ornaments, and I could also use them in my journal because I don't need all of these on my Christmas tree, right? So this glue is just going to drive me crazy. Let me get a little bit of glue on my fingers here. Okay, so we're going to glue Mr. Snowman on here. There's 2 holes there. I just ignored it. If you want to put a little bow or something there, and I might put something over there later, but for right now I'm just ignoring it. Then I'll decide later if I want to cover those up. But yeah, just Fabri-Tac again. Since this is kind of like felt, it's, you know, basically like fabric. And I'm not going to worry about that little piece of bow there. But I am going to get glue all over him, over the back of him. I'm trying to see if I have glue over the back of him. Like right there. And I think I got enough on there. Okay. Yeah, a little bit up here. Okay, now we're ready to put him down on the front, see what he looks like. Then we'll have one snowman and one Santa Claus. Put him right in the middle. And he is so cute. I like it. Okay, just don't mess him up, Sheree. A little bit of fuzz or something. Felt fuzz here. Some felt fuzz. Felt fuzz. Okay, yeah, and it's got that cushy feeling I mentioned, like a puffy sticker. Again on this one, because I used the same bag on the inside part. So it's still got that. It's so weird, but it's got that puffy sticker cushy feeling. It's so cool how it turned out. So anyway, I will further work on these with pages and things, but I am working at the same time on this one, the Grinch. I already fixed the inside pages for this book. I already folded in and glued the inside here so they would fit. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. But yeah, I folded in the little center parts, and I didn't have to cut any off yet, so just folded in the center parts so they would fit and they wouldn't stick out. So I got all the book pages done. Now I'm ready to add some other pages and things, and before we know it, that one will be done. So I'll come back and try to work on that more with you all, but I was so excited about this, I wanted to go ahead and get these started too. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know how you like these, and yeah, I can't wait to do some more work on them. Very cool. All right, we'll work on them some more another day, and I will see you then. Have a great day, and I'll see you later.